after a very long time, we are getting a big game in the Premier League. It seemed like ages ago since we got one of this, and finally, we can actually look forward to one of those big games this weekend. Tottenham taking on Liverpool is one of those fixtures you never want to miss because this fixture always brings all the goals, all the drama, and it's never, it's always filled with like lots of fun and stuff to look forward to. But without wasting much time, the key question when it comes to big games like this, they say form goes out of the water when it comes to games like this. But Max, who are the favorites going into this game?
I'd say Liverpool actually, because they're not losing in 5 games in a row, and this is a huge achievement for them, I'd say, in recent times. And they also did great against Inter on road, also Real Madrid. I feel like they're starting to gain their form back, while Spurs keep getting 0.1 XG per game. It just feels like they're definitely an outsiders for this game.
Fair enough. And over to you, Victor. A big talking point for Liverpool in the past couple of weeks is star man and legendary player Mohamed Salah. He caused quite a stir when he made those post-match comments. He was out of the squad and back in the squad against, Brighton. But now he's going to obviously be out, on duty, Nations Cup duty with Egypt. And at the very least, he will be out for another possibly 3 weeks, depending on where Egypt get to in the Nations Cup. But the question here is, Liverpool playing without Mohamed Salah, are Liverpool stronger or weaker on the pitch without their star forward?
Results speak for themselves, don't they? Unbeaten in 5. He hasn't started any of those games. Wasn't even in the squad against Inter. Didn't come off the bench in 2 of them, I think. He would not have come off the bench that early in the last one had it not been for Gomez's injury. What I'm going to say now is going to sound a bit ungrateful, perhaps, but I would like to see Salah sold in January because I don't feel like there's a lot to extract out of him anymore. It seems like the risks are going to outweigh the benefits in the very near future. They already have. He has been playing poorly all season. And the biggest problem here is the fact that the system seems to kind of leave him behind a little bit. And the way Liverpool are trying to play their football now does not involve Salah as much anymore. Now, is he going to throw another bitch fit soon? Probably. He was all happy and smiling against Brighton on the bench and whatnot. But I expect him to throw another tantrum once he needs to spend another 3 games in a row on the bench. And personally, I'm not okay with putting up with that anymore. If I were the manager, he would have gotten the boot already. But it's just a matter of, if you want to keep him, you need to be willing to put up with this sort of thing. It's not the first time he steps out of line. I'm fairly certain it won't be the last, but if this is the penultimate time he does something like this, there won't be a time after the next one.
Fair point, but that is still no way to talk about arguably your club's greatest player.
Don't get me wrong. He's all the way up there with Gerrard and Dalglish, but that doesn't mean you need to put yourself ahead of the team.
Yeah, fair point. And Max, switching over to Spurs, I mean, in our video, previewing what we're going to expect for the season, I remember all of us mentioning Spurs as potential dark horses for the season, but so far it has been something of the opposite. The question is, what is the possible reason for all the inconsistency we've seen from Spurs so far?
I'd probably say 2 of them, because firstly, I feel like their squad depth is just not letting them play both UCL and EPL, and they still yet to decide which championship they want a title challenge. But it feels strange to say. But also, Do you remember the game between Spurs and Chelsea when after the game Spence and Van de Ven are not even shaking the head to Frank? So it just feels like they just don't trust the manager. And in this type of teams, you never let this happen. So probably this is also the reason why they're doing poorly recently. And I feel like if they're not changing manager, doing something with the club structure, they're gonna sink and sink more.
Fair point. And Victor, key question here. Both Liverpool and Spurs, do you think they are still in the title race realistically?
I would love to say yes. I would say not both. Definitely not both. Look, if we have a look at the table, there's 10 points between Arsenal in first and Liverpool in seventh, and another 4 points between Liverpool and Spurs. Spurs are definitely not looking like mounting any sort of title challenge whatsoever. Liverpool, their fortunes might reverse a little bit. I think, as I've mentioned before, Arsenal will be dropping points this weekend, I believe, against Everton. So it's going to be 7 or 8. We're still not at the halfway stage. It's not exactly wishful thinking, don't get me. And I'm also not saying this to piss you off. I genuinely believe this, okay?
Believing is fine.
But if we need to pick one that can still somewhat realistically challenge for the title, it's got to be Liverpool. But in all seriousness, I think the chances are kind of gone for both.
Yeah, fair point. And Max, what key battles or key players could decide this game?
Let's see, about the battles, probably have to be somebody from the midfield, and I'd say Wirtz and Javi Simons, they've been in a pretty same situation recently, both been huge transfers for the team, and not doing that great, and probably this is the game when they should show up. But for the players themselves, I'd probably say Van Dijk and Van de Ven, because they're sometimes doing decent job in attack as well, not only in defense, and probably a goal from defender can decide the game, so I would call these two as well.
Fair point. Victor, your answer to that question too.
As I mentioned in the predictions video, I'm expecting a system change now that Salah is gone. I think Schlot's going to switch to 4-4-2, playing Isak and Ekitike, and that would mean Vicarios probably have his hands full. So I think that triangle, Vicario, Romero, Van de Ven, and the pairing of Isak and Ekitike, that's going to be fascinating to watch. As well as, let's see just how in the mood is Richarlison going to be, and giving any sort of trouble to rather Van Dijk, I would say. I think he's going to be the one tasked with marshalling him.
Nice. And just on the final note, Max, score predictions for this game.
I expect a lot of goals here, and I'd say 2-3 in favor of Liverpool.
And Victor, your prediction?
I genuinely don't know what to expect here. Of course, goals, yes, and I'm also backing a Liverpool win here. I'm thinking it can be either 3-1 or 7-2, but like it's genuinely as Spursy as it gets.
I'm predicting a 2-2 draw for both sides. 2-2 draw. Yeah, 2-2 draw. I mean, Liverpool are not all that. 2-2 draw for me. But we'll see. But anyway, that is our prediction for the Tottenham versus Liverpool game. Promises to be exciting this weekend. Both sides are not directly in the title race, but regardless, however this game plays out, will definitely have an impact on what the title race could look like in the next coming weeks. And we're asking our viewers to join out there, especially with this question: Liverpool without Mohamed Salah, are they stronger or weaker? We would like to see different opinions from this, and we'll be sure to respond in the comment section below.